Okay, so my name is E. Christopher Clark. I write for a site called GeekForce5.com, which you may or may not already know. And I am a novelist, an underpublished novelist. I've been working on this book, Down the Cape, for 5 years. And it's time to finish it and share it with the world. That is the plan. And I've come to Kickstarter.com to help me make that happen. Before anything else, let's say, what is the book about? What is the book about? Here you go. Basically, the book is about Michael Silver, this dude who is sort of attempting to bring his family back together 11 years after an event that he jokingly refers to as the Great Schism. And the book's set in 2000 to 2001 while Michael and his family are preparing for Michael's wedding. And it's a look back at the 1990s through the eyes of four cousins who are having their own, trials and tribulations. You have the flighty painter, that's Michael, who can't make up his mind about who he wants to be or who he wants to be with. You have the songstress, the very, very sad songstress, Veronica, who is weighted down, strangled by fear and family obligation. You have the stripper, Ashley, who will do anything for a buck, but she won't do that. And you have Matt, the writer, who will do anything to set the story straight, including breaking and entering and setting fire to the house. Just about anything. So that's what the book is about. I am on the 4th or 5th revision, something like that. You lose track after a while. And I want to get it out there. And the world is changing in terms of how storytellers put their stuff out there. Look at Scott Sigor, you look at people like that. They are podcasting chapters of their book, putting them out there in audio form where it's really easy for you to listen to it on your iPod, your Zune, whatever you listen to things on. Listen to it in the car on your way to work, on the bus on your way to work. Listen to it. And then you're like, I like this. Maybe I'll go buy the book. And that seems to be a method that's really working. And so that's where this project comes from. I want to do that, but I don't really have the equipment. I spend 4 hours a day on a bus to start off with. And so what I'm really lacking is a good laptop that can hold a charge for more than half an hour so that I can get work done during those 4 hours that I spend on a bus each day, commuting to and from Boston, coming back here to home to New Hampshire. I need a good mic to record the podcast because I want to do this. I want to do this right. I want to do it seriously. I want it to sound good. Don't you want it to sound good? You want it to sound good. I know you do. I want to record some video because you have to pay attention to your community. And the first community that I belonged to, in a sort of serious way, was Vidler. And it's a video community, and I want to be able to share video. Unfortunately, I don't have it. I don't have access to it. My camera is now held together by, it's 6 years old, held together by elastic bands that my wife wears around her hair. Yeah, because the battery comes out. It also shoots really crappy video. So I'm looking to get a new camera that combines stills and video to shoot videos as I go to the locations where the book is set for either inspiration or for further research, to shoot videos of me reading. And you want something thin, so that's why I talked about the Canon that you can see in the down there, which fits in your pocket. If it fits in your pocket, you take it with you. You get stuff recorded. So the laptop, the microphone, the camera, those are sort of the major components of this project. And a Libsyn account, because I want to host it in a place where bandwidth is unlimited, because I'm hoping I'm going to build an audience. and I want to get it up there in a place that lots of people trust. So that's the final component of all of this, and I just think it's going to be awesome. It's going to be a way to... The world is changing, as I said, and I think that this is going to be the way that writers have to do it. They have to get out there, they have to build the audience themselves, and you guys can help me do that. If you help me do that, you get great stuff. That's what I like about Kickstarter. Everything is here, and I really like it. I like what you're going to get. So $1 gets you a shout out on Twitter. That's not a lot, but any little amount helps, and I want to help you in any way that I can. So if you give me $1, I'm going to shout you out. I may do it more than once, depending on who you are and what kind of stuff you're up to. Because if I like you, I'm going to do it for free. Once I do it, but I'd prefer you to give me the $1. $10 gets you a high-quality audio version of the book once it's done, minus all the intros, all of that stuff that'll be in the monthly podcast version. $20 gets you a signed copy of my first book, Those Little Bastards, plus everything that I've mentioned before. $50, and I will record any story, novel excerpt, poem, whatever. I'll read the instructions off of the back of a box of a pancake mix, whatever you'd like, and I'll read it and I'll record it for you, maybe even live stream it, whatever you want. $100, and you'll get mentioned as a supporter at the end of each podcast in addition to everything else. $500, you'll get mentioned as a sponsor at the beginning of each podcast, and $1,000, and I will come read wherever the hell you are, as long as it's in the US. So great prizes, I think. Not prizes, but rewards. Rewards. I'm just reading the screen here, and that's what Kickstarter calls them. Rewards. So, rewards. So please consider helping. It's been a dream of mine to get this book done and get it out there. And I want people to experience it, to read it, to listen to it, whichever way it happens. And you can help me do that. And I just want to finish the video by reading you a little bit from the book, because I think, hey, you want to know what you're helping to support. So here you go. Michael Silver stood by the conference room window and listened to the church bell tolling from across the way. He looked over his shoulder. Behind him, his colleagues filed out, all of them except for the runt, who continued to pace the length of the room. Michael turned his gaze outward and downward. 4 floors below, in the space between their building and the church, there sat an old burial ground, one of the most famous in Boston. Somewhere down there, Mother Goose was buried, Hancock, Revere, and Sam Adams, too. Michael closed his eyes, imagining himself into a dark corner of some dingy old pub. There he sat, in the dull garb of his Puritan forebears, sipping at a pint of Sammy's finest ale. On one side of the table, Johnny was talking about a revolution, and on the other there was Polly, who couldn't stop bragging about his horse. Up on stage, Ma Goose was revving up the crowd, busting out the old school rhymes, hey diddle diddle, and whatnot. The scene made Michael grin. That, right there, was a painting. Now, if only the runt would keep pacing long enough for him to get the idea down, to get it down before it was gone. Thanks. Please consider donating. I am E. Christopher Clark from GeekForce5.com and eChristopherClark.com. You can hit me up at ECC1977 on Twitter if you have any questions. Thank you very much, very, very, very much for helping me with this, for even watching the video, for considering helping me. Thank you very much.